You walk into your patient's room. They are sitting in bed, happily chatting with their family. They are eating lunch, and they feel absolutely fine. But inside their blood vessels, the pressure is so intensely high that their organs are quietly sustaining permanent, irreversible damage. It is a deceptive scenario for any nurse at the bedside. To understand exactly how that damage happens, we have to look at the mechanics of the pump itself. This animated diagram shows a healthy heart in motion. The top number, the systolic, measures the active, forceful push of the heart contracting to send blood out. The bottom number, the diastolic, measures the steady, resting background pressure while the heart relaxes and refills. For decades, the medical community tolerated slightly elevated numbers, especially in older patients. But the 2025 American Heart Association guidelines strictly define normal blood pressure as anything under 120/80. These new standards move away from outdated ideas that high blood pressure is an inescapable part of aging or merely a result of temporary nervous tension. Treating blood pressure now means intervening early to prevent mechanical degradation of the body's plumbing rather than waiting for a catastrophic blowout. Think of the human circulatory system like a garden hose running at maximum pressure all day, every day. That delicate inner lining of the blood vessel is called the endothelium. When the pressure stays relentlessly high, that lining develops tiny cracks and micro tears from the sheer force of the flow. This animation shows how the body tries to heal those tears. Sticky cholesterol and fats circulating in the bloodstream get caught in the cracks. Over time, they build up into hard plaques. This is the process of atherosclerosis. As those plaques harden, the vessel becomes narrow and stiff. That creates massive physical resistance. The blood has a harder time getting through, which drives the overall pressure up even higher. Now, the left ventricle of the heart has to work against that heavy resistance. Just like a skeletal muscle forced to lift weights every day, the heart muscle bulks up. It grows thicker in a process called concentric hypertrophy. However, the heart is encased in a tight sac. It cannot grow outward, so the muscle grows inward, crowding its own chamber space until the heart physically cannot hold enough blood during the resting phase. The total cardiac output drops and fluid backs up into the lungs. Years of silent, unchecked pressure in the arteries directly culminate in life-threatening events like heart failure, major aortic dissections, and hemorrhagic strokes. When the monitor flashes a reading of 190/110, begin by verifying that data. Take a manual blood pressure yourself. Uncross the patient's legs, ensure they are positioned correctly, and check for symptoms like a pounding headache or blurred vision. Your assessment ensures you are treating the patient's actual condition rather than a machine. In elderly patients, nurses must balance the long-term risk of a stroke against the immediate danger of a fall. If their pressure drops too low, they may lose the ability to push blood to the brain when standing up. Dizziness at 80 years old can lead to a fatal hip fracture. We fix these plumbing failures with the ABCDs of pharmacology. A is for ACE inhibitors and ARBs. In this view, you can see how they chemically block the signals that tell vessels to constrict. The pipes relax and dilate, safely lowering the pressure inside. ACE inhibitors often cause a chemical buildup in the lungs, triggering a persistent dry cough. While clinically harmless, this side effect frequently causes patients to stop taking their medication. B is for beta blockers. These act as brakes on the heart. They block adrenaline from binding to the muscle, which slows the heart rate and reduces the workload on the pump. These medications can mask the physical warning signs of a hypoglycemic crash in diabetic patients. Because beta blockers suppress the adrenaline response, the patient may not feel their heart pounding as their blood sugar drops to a dangerous level. C is for calcium channel blockers. Calcium is the trigger that allows muscle fibers to contract. By blocking it, we prevent the smooth muscles in the arteries from forcefully clamping down. And D is for diuretics. This diagram shows how they act as dehydrators. They force the kidneys to pull fluid out of the bloodstream and excrete it as urine. Less physical volume inside the pipes means less pressure pushing against the walls. Nurses utilize these medications as specific mechanical tools to dilate pipes, slow the pump, or drain excess fluid. Patients often feel frustrated when life-saving medications cause them to feel worse than the asymptomatic disease did. They go from feeling fine to experiencing constant urination, a cough, or dizziness. Stopping these medications abruptly causes rebound hypertension. The blood vessels violently constrict, and the pressure can skyrocket past its original starting point, which acts as a direct trigger for a hemorrhagic stroke. Long-term protection for the body's internal plumbing requires a focus on the DASH diet, specifically a strict restriction of sodium intake. Mechanically, sodium acts like a dry sponge inside the blood vessels, aggressively pulling excess water into the bloodstream and holding onto it, significantly increasing the pressure against the vessel walls. The 2025 guidelines emphasize that a patient's physical health is linked to their social environment. We have to address the root environmental causes to achieve successful outcomes. A highly stressful environment, such as financial strain or a lack of physical safety, causes the brain to perceive a constant threat. This keeps the body in a state of high alert, pumping out stress hormones like cortisol endlessly. Decades of this cortisol flood physically inflames the endothelium. It accelerates atherosclerosis and drives blood pressure up, creating a direct biological link between a stressful life and heart disease. Managing blood pressure is a lifelong mission. It requires nurses to master complex mechanical interventions while addressing the profound impact of the patient's daily lived reality. Hey, thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know what topics you want to see more of and how I can help you become the super nurse you were born to be. I hope to see you here again real soon.